Percy's Scary Tale. It was a foggy, foggy Halloween night. So Topham Hatt had sent Percy to work with his friend Alfie. Percy was glad he would be with a friend on Halloween. Alfie was on a night job. He was helping mend the road through Maithwaite Forest. Percy had arrived during the workman's break. Kelly was going to tell a Halloween story. "I hope it's not too spooky," said Percy. "Me too," said Alfie. He didn't like being scared either. "Rubbish," snarled Max. "It's just a story," sneered Monty. "Shh," said Jack. Then Kelly began. Once upon a time, there was an old steam truck. He was very cross. Someone had taken one of his headlamps. And everyone listened quietly as Kelly told the story of the one-eyed truck. And finally, the one-eyed truck chased the loader into the deepest, darkest part of the forest. "Then what happened?" asked Isabella. "Luckily, the loader got away. But according to legend, the one-eyed truck still wanders the forest, blowing his whistle and looking for a headlamp," whispered Kelly. "Maybe he wants yours." "That was the best story yet," said Jack. "I hope I never meet the one-eyed truck," gulped Alfie. "Me too," cried Percy. "Stuff and nonsense," rattled Monty. "Break's over," said Kelly. "Back to work." Percy liked working with Alfie. Alfie is small, so is Percy. Alfie is green, so is Percy. They were having a wonderful time. But Max and Monty were up to mischief. "It's the one-eyed truck!" cried Max. "Scaredy, scaredy!" teased Monty. "Stop that!" boomed Jack. "Pick on someone your own size." Max and Monty just laughed. Later, Max and Monty had settled down. "Take these loads to the tip in the forest," said the foreman, "and be careful. It's very dark." "Yes, sir," said Monty and Max, and they left. As they drove deeper into the forest, it got darker and darker. The woods were full of spooky shapes and shadows. It was very scary. Suddenly, Max and Monty didn't feel so brave. "What was that?" clattered Max. "An owl," said Monty. "I hope." "And that?" cried Max. "I don't know," said Monty. It was just a fox, but Monty and Max didn't know that. They had just arrived at the dump when suddenly they heard a shrill whistle. Then they saw a single headlamp through the trees. "It's the one-eyed truck!" shouted Monty. They dumped their loads and raced away as fast as their wheels could carry them. "He's after us!" cried Max. "It's the one-eyed truck!" yelped Monty. "There is no one-eyed truck," said Kelly. "It's just a story," chuffed Alfie. "Well, what's behind us then?" said Monty. "It's Thomas," said the foreman. "Thomas," said Percy happily. "Hello, Percy," called Thomas. "Sir Topham Hatt sent me with some more freight cars." Monty and Max felt silly. They were in a beautiful shade of red. But everybody else had a good laugh. Especially Percy and Alfie. Kelly's windy day. Thomas and Kelly had just arrived at the new library site. "The wind's blowing hard," chuffed Thomas. "Too hard," frowned Kelly. "Strong winds are dangerous for a crane." The wind was blowing so hard that Jack and his friends could hardly get their work done. Kelly's crane arm didn't like the wind. Uh-oh, this is bad. Look out! Cried Jack. But it was too late. Are you all right, Jeff Thomas? I think so, but is anyone else hurt? No, said Jack, but you've demolished the shed. Soon Kelly was back on Thomas's low loader. I'm sorry, Miss Jenny, said Kelly. It wasn't your fault, Kelly, said Miss Jenny. We'll get you back to the yard so the repairman could look at those wheels. I'm glad it's only your wheels, said Thomas. Me too, said Kelly. But he was worried. What if he fell over again and hurt someone? That night, the wind blew and the rains pounded down. The repairman worked all night fixing Kelly's wheels. The next morning, the sheds were empty. Everyone had gone to work, except Kelly. The rain had stopped, but the wind was still blowing, and he was worried. Then Miss Jenny came to the sheds with urgent news. Isabella has come off the road at the quarry bridge, she said. We must rescue her at once. Kelly was still afraid he might fall over and hurt someone. Can't you send someone else? He asked. Kelly, there is no one else. Isabella's in trouble, said Miss Jenny, and we must rescue her. Isabella was scared. She didn't like teetering on the edge of the road like a seesaw. Soon Kelly and Miss Jenny arrived. Isabella, are you all right? Asked Miss Jenny. I think so, answered Isabella. Kelly had to remove the piano first. The wind blew and the piano swayed. Oh dear, be careful. Soon Kelly lowered the piano safely to the ground. Now he had the hardest job of all, to rescue Isabella. Slowly, he started to pull Isabella back onto the road. The wind blew harder. Isabella began to teeter. Oh! Kelly was worried. He stopped. What's wrong? Cried Isabella. The wind's too strong, said Kelly. You can do it, Kelly, called Miss Jenny. You can do it! Kelly knew he couldn't let the wind stop him. He started his winch again. He pulled harder. And harder. Oh, mind my paint, the cheeky truck cried. Isabella was finally back on the road. Phew. Well done, Kelly, said Miss Jenny. Well done. Thank you, Kelly, said Isabella. At last, Kelly had his confidence back. Isabella was on her way again. And Thomas could see that Kelly was happy.